Tonight, we mark the return of the most ominous sight in all of sport. The monster trucks. You know them. You love them. You probably want one for your very own. Plus, Eli talks with 95 Cup Rookie of the Year, Ricky Craven. Eddie has the 89 Cup champion. He's a St. Louis native, and we've got him. Rusty's talking shop. So strap in for another Motor Madness ride.
You are looking at the scenic and lovely Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. Oh, it's the Monster Trucks Motor Madness. Going to get down and dirty tonight. Might as well gather the family around and just park it for the next 3 hours. Hello, I'm Katie Haas. We got those Monster Trucks coming at you tonight. But all weekend long, we got a lot of racing action headed your way on TNN. Now, let's take a look at all this stuff. Got Rob Dyson. His dreams of winning the prestigious Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona, they were fulfilled last month as his Ringneck Ford prevailed in one of the closest victories in the 35-year history of the International Motorsports Association event. But now all the IMSA teams will turn to the Superflow 12 Hours of Sebring on Saturday, presented by Chrysler, to continue the chase for the championship. It's going to be a big one this weekend on TNN. Check it out. Also, last year's Florida Dodge Dealers 400 was one of the most exciting races in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series' short history, as Dave Resendez nudged out Jack Sprague by a mere 22 thousandths of a second. Rich Bickle is going to look to do the same to extend his lead in the points on the newly configured Homestead Motorsports Complex Oval, as the trucks will head to Florida. Check it out, again, live on TNN this weekend. Todd Bodine, we're going to talk about him as you see the points there in the trucks race. Todd Bodine, he moved on to the points lead in the Busch Grand National Series with his 6th place finish in Atlanta. But Mark Martin, he is unstoppable. He won his 3rd race out of 4 to start the season. That makes things real tight in the points race. 16 points, in fact. That's all to separate the top 4 for the Busch Grand National Series. Exciting stuff, and of course, they're going to be in Las Vegas. The big boys, the Cuppers, are off this weekend, so we're not going to do much chattering about them, but we will talk to Rusty Wallace, and Eli is with Ricky Craven this weekend. But right now, let's go on down to Memphis. Walt Yarbrough and Mike Galloway are there talking monster trucks.
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the Mid-South Coliseum here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Walt Yarbrough along with Mike Galloway, and we're here for USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge and Pro Arena Truck Racing. I tell you what, Mike, this is a tough, short course here in this small Coliseum.
I love this racetrack. Very tight. The clay is so good. You'll see the monster trucks pick the front end up probably 2 foot from the starting line. Pro Arena trucks, boy, they have really got a job for them tonight. The track is short. Very tight turns. You're going to have to be set up before you go in the turns. All in all, it should be absolutely great racing.
Well, it's going to be exciting. It's a small race course, but a lot of great racing yet to come. Let's go back to the studio.
All right, so the dirt compaction at the Mid-South Coliseum is working for us tonight. We'll have that. Listen, when we come back, we'll get back to the monsters, but grab a pen and paper. We're going to give you an address. You're going to want to know it, so get ready. We'll be right back.
Motor Madness is brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil for a clean running engine, and by Miller Lite, who invite you to sit back and enjoy a Miller time, and by Polaroid. Watch, wait, and see what develops.
All right, folks, we love our loyal fans. I'm very pleased at the stacks and stacks of mail that we're getting already this year. So what we're doing, since you're out there and you're checking us out and giving us your comments, we're going to try to make it a little bit more fun for you. Now, starting next week, Motor Madness is going to team up with the official NASCAR store, NASCAR Thunder. It's the place for all the latest in driver merchandise, souvenirs, and collectibles. Now, here is how it's going to work. You send in your mail, whatever you got. We're going to choose the funniest story or question or comment or whatever we feel like sharing with everybody else. If we use it on the air, you are going to win all kinds of prizes like polo shirts and coolers, hats. We've even got leather jackets and trips to NASCAR races, even some pit passes included. We got everything covered. So let's just get that mail. Keep coming it in. Whatever you got, well, tell us what's on your mind. Here's the address. Write this down. And just send us what you think. Motor Madness, care of TNM Viewer Services, 2806 Opryland Drive, Nashville, Tennessee, 37214. And thank you. It's been very stimulating reading all that stuff. Speaking of viewer mail, we've got our own TV critic in Long Island. Hello, Diane Wirt. She's a wild and rowdy girl. She's written to us and tell us she likes the show, but her latest critique, she wants to see larger wheels on the trucks, okay? Forget the bumpers. We don't care about the motors. Just give him more wheels. All right. She also likes those in-cab cameras, too. So, gee, Diane, we'll try to do whatever we can to please you. Just keep those comments coming, and thanks for spreading the word. We really appreciate it. Here's what you wanted: big wheels, big trucks, big dirt. Let's go down to Memphis for more of that Monster Truck Challenge.
Well, thanks, guys, and welcome to Memphis, Tennessee in the Mid-South Coliseum. It's the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge along with Pro Arena Truck Racing. I'm Walt Yarbrough along with Mike Galloway, and I tell you what, Mike, it's a tight race course here in Memphis.
Oh, I love this racetrack. Memphis clay is probably as good as you'll ever find for racing. It's going to be a good bite, a lot of traction. We've got great monster trucks. We've got Snakebite, Bigfoot. We've got the Executioner, the Hall Brothers, Smokecraft trucks. Some fabulous trucks, and the arena is tight. Driver's track, I think it is. You need a little horsepower to get off the starting line because the clay is so tight, it'll pick the front end of the truck up. All in all, the monster truck racing is going to be very tight tonight. Can't call a winner from here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike Galloway, how about the Pro Arena trucks? Some of those are long wheelbase, short wheelbase, some two-wheel drive, some four-wheel drive. How are they going to live with this out here?
Well, the two and the four-wheel drives haven't shown a preference over past courses, but the long wheelbase trucks are definitely at a disadvantage here tonight for the simple reason the tires are so tight you can't get through them. Short wheelbase truck, it's a racetrack. You need some horsepower with this because airborne and landing is really tough.
Well, I tell you, it's going to be exciting down there on the floor of this racetrack here at this Coliseum, and we've got a man down there handling for us. Fred Bartson is down there, and he's taking care of a couple of monster truck drivers down there on this tight race course.
That's right, guys. I'm lucky enough to be standing next to the 1996 Monster Truck of the Year, the Executioner, with the owners and operators of that great truck, the Hall Brothers. Tim, how do you feel about the circuit tonight?
Well, it's a great track here in Memphis. It's tight. It's a driver's track. It's going to be exciting, and I look forward to a lot of good competition tonight.
Great. Mark, what about you? What's your strategy?
Well, I think we're going to have to get through the corners pretty good there, and it's like you say, it is a tight course, and if we can make it through the corners, I think we'll be okay.
Great. Now, what's going to happen if you guys meet up at some point?
Well, we're going to try to go hammer down, try to beat him, try to put him out.
Great. Well, I'll be down here to bring you more action from the pits. Back to y'all.
Well, I tell you what, Mike Galloway, it is going to be a great night here at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge along with Pro Arena Trucks, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum. I'm Walt Yarbrough along with Mike Galloway, and now it's time for Monster Truck Racing on the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. Mike, what about the rules for these monster trucks other than big?
Well, this is the way that we're going to do scoring this weekend, as in other weekends past. Sixth place is 10 points, fifth place is 20 points, fourth place 30, third place 40, second place 50, first place 60. This is in two different divisions. Now we have the obstacle course, which will go first. The drag racing will go a little bit later on. The points rating on the scoring is the same on both racetracks. Then you take the total accumulative points for the evening, and there we crown King of the Hill. And the King of the Hill is so important because it is that paved road. It's that ticket into Indianapolis.
Yeah, everybody's wanting to go to Indy because that's the place to be when this season ends up. But these trucks, we've got in the near lane right here next to us, Snakebite. And I tell you what, that's a big truck, 10,000 pounds, 5 tons.
This truck is the custom-built Ford truck, the Snakebite truck, 572 cubic inches, front motor, all aluminum, best technology you can buy. This is the kind of truck that can win this kind of a racetrack. Julie on the other side of the track, misbehaving out of Clearfield, Utah. Boy, she's hauled a long ways to bring this race truck here tonight. This truck, quite a bit different. The tires on it, you're going to notice, are a lot heavier. It's only 460 cubic inches of Ford. I say only. That's a lot of cubic inches, but think about some people running some 572s and some 5 1/4s.
Yeah, but Mike Galloway, that's got the mid or rear engine set up where the Snakebite has the old front engine design.
Well, I think a lot of racetracks those two specific things would make a lot of difference, especially in a long racetrack when you're putting up a lot of speed. We're not going to have just a tremendous amount of speed here tonight. We're going to have a lot of handling, a lot of accuracy. It is going to be a driver's skill. This lady, believe me, knows what it's all about, though. She and her husband make a wonderful team.
Well, they fire the engines up. We get ready to go. It's the Snakebite here in the near lane and the Misbehaving, a Ford Ranger on the other side. It's the big architectural Snakebite, the big green lights flashing on the side of that one, and the purple and white Misbehaving on the far lane. As they'll get lined up, they're going to run an obstacle course here, Mike, and kind of lay out how that does real quickly.
Well, it's a chase course or a Chicago racetrack. One of them will start on one side of the arena. The other starts on the other side of the arena. They actually make a circle. The finish lines are identical, but you're going on two different tracks. As you can see, one on one side, one on the other. This is going to be great. You got to give just a little bit of an edge to Dave Byers in that Snakebite truck because that young got the power.
And there they go. And the Snakebite gets across his hill very quickly. Julie Christensen and Misbehaving, not quite so fast, but here they come across the line. As you can see, he does a great job. Look at him spin that Snakebite truck around, and over the tower he goes. He's got it lined up as he closes in on Julie Christie, and it was the Snakebite. Oh, he put it on.
He had a good run going. Snakebite about half track, about halfway around, was maybe 3/4 of a truck in the lead. I think it wasn't a real strong test, but he got a good feel of the track. He got to see what the racetrack was going to do, how the clay is going to match up. So all in all, it was real good, tight racing, but Snakebite, the winner tonight.
Well, you can see him bringing off of these jumps. He brings it up, gets that whole 10,000-pound truck loose in the air, and watch him spin it around this tight corner. Four-wheel steering, fully hydraulic.
Well, one thing about it, he had to have the tires cut when he come off that jump. Talked to him earlier tonight. They say that's very, very important that you got the tires cut. This is going to be quite a race.
And in the near lane, the mystical Dragon Slayer, Craig Christensen at the helm. One tough truck right here, Mike Galloway.
Out of Utah, this particular truck, big, bad, blown alcohol. Donovan in the back of this truck. They own a pair of them. This is the newest of the two. His wife drives the other one. This truck is really, really on the verge of winning something.
Well, Christensen is ready to go. He's up against a very ominous foe, but he looks like he's ready to take him on. But the man across from him, the toughest one in the business, the most intimidating, the Foot.
Big blue truck out of St. Louis, Missouri. I don't care what you say or how you say it. He is the top running truck anywhere you want to go. They come prepared. They're ready. Dan Runke, great driver. These people are always on the verge of going all the way.
Well, the hammer is cocked. They're ready to go. We're fixing to get this one started. Here comes the Dragon Slayer. He leaps it up, but look at the Foot as he spins it around the corner and sets up to go over the cars one more time. He is only closing in on the Dragon Slayer as Runte's doing a tremendous job. Squares back the corner. Dragon Slayer on the post, and it was the Foot.
Bigfoot probably a truck length from the drop of the green flag. When they dropped the green flag, that truck, it didn't leave the starting line. It just leapt off the starting line. I mean, instant power from that starting line.
Okay, we'll go back to a replay here. You can see the Dragon Lady taking it off Dragon Slayer. Go to it, Mike.
He's got it high-sided right here. Two wheels up off the ground. You've got to do something. You do it with steering and you back out to get all four wheels back on the ground. Tight course tonight. You can put one of them on its side real easy.
Yeah, because I'm guessing this Mid-South Coliseum, what, maybe a total of 10 or 12 total lengths of the truck?
Yeah, exactly. The Bigfoot was probably a foot, meaning the whole truck, out at the starting line. This is going to be a great race.
Yeah, brother against brother. And in the near lane, we've got the Smokecraft Big G Jerky sponsored entry. And behind the wheel of that one. And then the Executioner on the other side. The Executioner, Mike, go over that one with you.
MTRA Monster Truck of the Year, MTRA Driver of the Year for 1996, MTRA Monster Truck Team of the Year. Trust me, these young men have marked their names in the history book. They will be a force to reckon with all year long. This is the Smokecraft truck. This is Mark Hall, the older of two.
And here they come. And the Executioner gets off very quickly, but Smokecraft right behind him. Look at the Executioner bringing around that corner. Up he takes it in the air. He's just barely ahead of the Smokecraft, but the Smokecraft brings it around that Executioner. Oh, that was a close one there. They were really pouring it on.
Well, Tim Hall was the man in this round of competition. If you're going to mark someone that made a big, big impression on all of the people here tonight and the drivers, it's got to be this executioner truck. That young man put the truck through the paces like I have never seen the truck go before. He has got one thing on his mind. He wants to win here tonight, and if he keeps going like that, trust me, he may be the man to win tonight.
Well, he's already the truck of the year in 1996, and I tell you what, he is looking to have a great day, and he just really had one out here in the executioner.
When he got into the turns with this truck, he was on the...
It was art for him.
Yeah, it was. He was on the throttle. He picked up the left front tire that transferred all the weight around. This truck got around the course absolutely superb.
Now, let me ask you this, Mike. When he came around that corner, he had that wheel up in the air, and he was spinning it around. Now, was that a time when you go tapping the brakes?
Wasn't a problem with him. He's a great driver.
Okay, well, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum for the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge and Pro Arena Truck Racing. I'm Walt Yarbrough along with Mike Galloway, and Mike, Pro Arena Truck Racing. It's something new, and I tell you what, it's great.
This is like wildfire. It's catching on. Anyone can do it. It doesn't take a lot of horsepower. It helps, no doubt about it. But tonight we're going to see big horsepower. We're going to see little horsepower. We're going to see trucks with big tires, little tires. Let's take a look. This is Ronnie Carr out of Memphis, Tennessee, a 1973 Chevrolet Blazer F350. Swings wide because he's got to get wide. It's a tight turn down there to get over the whoops, and he didn't quite get it far enough. Has to back up a little bit. You can bet that there's drivers standing in the pit area watching this.
Yeah, true advantage to the shorter wheelbase vehicles, even though this is a relatively short wheelbase. But look at the size tires he has on that vehicle, Mike.
Well, that's exactly what's just killing him in these turns is the tires. Now, the vehicle looks real shiny, and it's because it's raining outside at this very moment. Up over this big jump, now you got to go through the whoops, and this is a treacherous part. The little short jumps really hurt the undercarriage of the truck. This truck is sprung very heavy. What happened when he got into that, he pulled all of the fuel out of the carburetor.
These are standard carburetor motors, right? Four-barrel carburetors, dual bowls, dual pumpers, most of them?
Most of them. Now, we've got some that aren't that way, but almost all of them. And, you know, the worst thing that ever happened to you when you run Pro Arena is the front-end loader.
Well, I tell you what, as they pull him off the track, we'll be back in just a few moments after a few words from our sponsors. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum. I'm Walt Yarbrough along with Mike Galloway. It's Pro Arena Truck Racing. And Mike, I tell you what, one of the greatest things about this is these guys just bring their trucks out. This is like when somebody uses weekend hay hauling.
Well, maybe, but this truck is out of Missouri, a 1981 Chevrolet. And John Jungblut is doing a great job. This little truck, ooh, big air over that one. Now can he handle it, bring it back around? Lots of air on both of them. There's, oh, got it up on four wheels. This truck is really going through the torture, Walt. He's beating it to death.
I'll tell you what, he is taking the time to do it as the first one just kind of worked his way through. Look at him as he puts that one front end, back end, all up in the air at the same time. And I tell you what, he knocked all the gas out of the carburetor that time.
Two-wheel drive. He's sponsored by Odell's Radiator and Collision. And believe me, I think he probably gives the collision part of Odell's a lot of business.
Okay, we're coming up here on a replay. You can see him. Mikey's bringing it out of his carriage through this one.
What happens is it gets real, real high in the air this time around, and when it does, it pulls all of the fuel out of the bowl. There he finishes up the finish line. Looks like he might have had a little problem on the right front, but it's okay. He made the run. Now we'll look at the time.
50.87. Well, I'll tell you what, he was looking strong, wasn't he?
That is, and that's good enough for first place right now.
Now, here you say we've had big trucks and small trucks and flatbed trucks. Now, here's an old Datsun pickup.
Well, this thing is absolutely unbelievable. 430 cubic inches of Chevrolet. If it's horsepower that'll win it, he's got it all. And it is awesome. He's got the power. Let's see if he can just hold on to it. Up in the air, this is going to be tough on him. It's low slung in the front end. Got a big motor up front. That's hurt.
He's digging mud over there. Look at that.
Going up's not bad, but coming down is absolutely terrible. Now he's got the bounce on it. Who says that they can't? Still going. And he's having a good time waving at the crowd. Now he's got to go for the finish line. Gets it up on two. And you know what? He just spent some money.
I think so. I think he just blew the transmission in that one. but he had plenty of horsepower. He was putting it on out there. That little short wheelbase Datsun pickup, 2-wheel drive, big old tires in the back. And I tell you what, this is what makes pro arena truck racing so great. Hey, this is a guy, put this rig together, comes out and does it, but here comes the front end loader.
Well, absolutely. And this young gentleman, you know, who knows, he may have driven to the arena. It looks like it. It's got windshield wipers on it. It's got glass in it. He's looking underneath it for the parts. Here we go. This is going to be the biggie. Up and over. Watch this. Oh, that hurt. Here it's going to get a little worse, though. Remember, 430 cubic inch Chevrolet weighs a lot. He's plowing up the track as he goes around, and there is more track.
All 4 wheels off the ground.
And I can't believe that the rear end is still spinning at that part. He's still going. Now he slings it into the turn, and it gets bad on these whoops again. All in the air. There it is. Who says you can't make a Datsun fly? Because this young man's doing a good job of it. Then, oh, that is such a sudden stop. And look at the seat on the right-hand side, just beating itself to death.
Would not want to be a passenger in that one.
Well, we're not going to do that. That's against the rules.
Pro arena truck racing. I tell you what, it is an exciting form of motorsport, and I tell you what, the rules and the way they've got to wind away around this racetrack, jump over these big whoopties, and they're not very far apart. But now here comes a long wheelbase vehicle, a club cab to boot.
Well, big Ford, 460 cubic inches, big giant rubber on it all the way around. Says he's run several thirds in this truck. Well, I don't know whether he's ran third here or not. He's going to have to get the big swing. He's like driving a semi around an obstacle course. He's not on the throttle too hard, but you know what? The way it's been setting right now, that's not a bad idea, because we've only had one truck finish the course. He's still going, looking good so far. Time to beat, you know, is setting at that 50.87, so he's legitimately got a shot at first place.
And these little checkered flags and the orange stakes, you knock one of those over, cost you 5 seconds.
You know, at half course, Walt, he's got a great time. Now all he's got to do is just finesse this around the whoops one more time. He can hang it out going for that finish line. We may have a new leader. It's coming up. Got to go 50. He's on 40. Look at this, Walt. Yes,
sir. 43.06 seconds. And the time to beat was 50.87. So sometimes consistency, concern, not just hanging it all out is what pays the job. Because, you know, this one's driving off on his own power.
Well, and he may be back. We're going to bring the top 15 trucks back for round number 2. So that made a lot of difference. Now, this is the finesse part of it. He's just kind of taking his time, just going as fast as he can and keeping the truck under control.
And here we go. We've got another one coming out. That's the Alcoa Best Value Sponsor entry, Fordzilla. He calls it a full-size Ford Bronco. And he brings it around, got big tow hooks on the front and rear as he'll bring it around.
Bobby Stewart, he's out of Memphis, Tennessee. He's home this weekend, and he's doing a great job. This truck's getting around real well. Got a 3/4 ton truck rear end under it. The cab's coming loose from it. That's all right. Fordzilla is hammering it out, and he's really doing a great job. He's on 28 seconds right now, and the time to beat is 43.06. Let's see if he can hang it out. He's got to go for the big one this time around. We may do it again. We may do it again. Let's see. Yes, he did.
37.75 seconds. So now I think they're beginning to get the handle on it. The yellow lights flashing on top of Fordzilla. And I tell you, he's a happy man.
They're sitting out back watching each other run, finding out where the tricks are, and it's time to go racing. They're getting real serious about it.
7.75 was the time.
Oh, here's a replay of Fordzilla as he takes it off. Look at that rear end as he comes across. The whole thing's dropping away from the chassis of that Ford Bronco.
Doesn't make any difference. He's in the lead.
That's a fruit, what do they call it, a full floating rear end?
That's it. We're not talking about the truck either. Yeah. This is going to be great. He got a little bit of crooked, so he could have shaved another second off that time. He's looking to get in the top 15, a little jump over the end, and it is a beautiful job.
I tell you, we got Jeff Smith in number 55 up here, and look at the side, the hook on the front of this one.
Jeff with his Ford truck, and trust me, he's on his way to big-time racing.
5 seconds. He just took a 5-second penalty. He knocked down one of the stakes. That long wheelbase got in his way again.
Well, it says in the rule book that you've got to have a hook provided to be able to pull it off frontwards or backwards. He went all the way on that part of it.
Yes, sir.
Turn. He looks real good on this, makes the swing down the front straightaway. Little Ford truck working well. Oh, I don't know if it's working so well now, though. He's in that turn, and it looks like he's lost some fire underneath it. No, and it's bad news for the Bartlett towing truck.
Yeah, Lynn's Auto Body, Bartlett Towing, and he tries to get it fired up again down here, and he's opening the door and going to step out. He doesn't know what the problem is. I tell you what, this is where a lot of the great racers come, but out comes the JIK Stower. Now, here's the replay. He brings it around. Mike Galloway, tell us what the world he's doing here.
Four-wheel drive, and he's got a pretty good run going right now. Absolutely a real good run. Getting some air underneath it. This truck is sprung real hard, though. It's not a soft-sprung truck, and that way you're seeing that the body is coming up. The fuel is running off of the carburetor itself. It's making it tough for the engine. It just will not live to go all the way around this course. We talked earlier, Walt, about how tight the course was and how rough the course is. We can see it now, definitely taking its toll on the racers.
Pro Arena Truck Racing, where did it come from, Mike? And what's the whole, I know what's behind it, is to bring the guys in and get them involved in this.
Well, it's been done outdoors for several years, but now it's moved indoors and it's become very tight confines. It's fun racing.
And we got number 19, William Judd Lindsay out there, and that looks like one of those little Broncos.
Well, these Broncos have been dominant. This 83 Ford Bronco, short wheelbase. Look at the left front. Now, this truck worries me about that left front tire. I don't know if he's really got a problem with it or it just looks that way, but it's kind of wobbling as it goes over the jumps. And there, it did it again, and it's not pulling, that's for sure. The left front tire is not pulling at all, so he may have a broken hub on that part of the truck. And it's costing him some very important time. It is just taking a beating out front. Both of the tires on the front end now kind of wobbling around. But you know what, Walt? He's in the hunt to take the lead, even though he's had all these problems. Oh, that just killed him, though.
Oh, yeah, he had to back up to get in line. He forgot he had to make a run down here for this center hump, and he'll get it up in the air, and he'll take it right off, and gets all four wheels off the ground, and then slams on the brakes. 48.75, respectable time. Got it through. The front end loader didn't have to come get him, and that's the name of the tune there.
That's the good part about it. If you don't have to bring the front end loader out, you got to be happy, right?
You betcha. Number 54 coming up, Kevin Farmer. And Kevin's got big Chevrolet truck there, short wheelbase, big tires on the back end. This is a two-wheel drive pickup.
Well, this is a 305, so we talk about big 400 cubic inch motors. He's kind of just easing this little puppy around gently, as if that is possible. Taking it real easy, two-wheel drive, 3/4 ton rear end in this truck. A lot of these guys have got it figured out. Some of them just getting involved in it haven't got it all right. You're using mud racing trucks. They're using trucks that are done for truck pulling. They hear about this Pro Arena and they want to get in it. Almost anyone can get in it with a truck. We've got a lot of street legal trucks here, and this guy, he's still going. I spoke too soon. No, he's back in the program, and he's at 42 seconds right this moment. It's not enough to take the lead, but you know what? The top 15 trucks are coming back into the finals. Now, oh, is he in a little trouble out there? He's going to have to back up, and that may very well blow him out of that situation for the lead tonight.
And you know what was interesting is we saw earlier the monster trucks just spinning around this race course. But you remember they had four-wheel drive and four-wheel steering. He's got two-wheel drive and only two-wheel steering.
And remember, they do it for a living.
That's right. And these Pro Arena truck racers, well, they're the heart, the backbone of America. They're the backbone of America racing. They're the guys that do it because they love it. Period, paragraph.
Well, they're taking a quick break out there in Memphis, Tennessee. I want to remind you, World of Outlaw fans, open wheel sprint car racing returns to Motor Madness next week. It'll be from Devil's Bowl Speedway out in Mesquite, Texas. So I want you to take a look at this just to whet your appetite a little bit.
Well, let's see. There's no subpoenas, warrants, and they're not in jail.
That's right. The World of Outlaws is on parole in Mesquite, Texas for the Devil's Bowl Spring Nationals.
Still like them sprint cars.
We do, too. That's why we're bringing them to you live next Friday.
We've got a group of new guys that are definitely hungry.
Hungry enough to do whatever it takes to win.
Nobody likes to lose.
The season's heating up, and the competition just hit the boiling point. Be here next Friday for full-blown outlaw action.
Oh, man, that's some fine stuff. Look forward to it next Friday night. And for those of you who don't know it, tonight, you have the fortunate opportunity to be watching one of the best in commentating business, Mike Galloway. He's the man, or more commonly known as the professor of truckology. From one television personality to another, let me tell you that Mike has a great on-air talent, the ability to fill time when there's a little lull in the action. The professor's class is in session.
Tell you what, I've done races from a lot of different venues in my day. I've done them in gigantic outdoor facilities like Daytona and little indoor places like Peoria, Illinois. But I don't know about you, Mike Galloway, our professor of truckology. I've never done something that was kind of halfway in between. What is this place?
Oh, this is great, Ralph. It's got bucket chutes right below us. It's got a dirt floor in it, and this is perfect for monster trucks and pro arenas.
Now, I also understand there are two different kinds of dirt. There is car racing dirt, and there is rodeo dirt. And here in Beaumont, we have rodeo dirt. What's the difference, Professor?
Well, that's true. This is rodeo dirt. It has fertile compaction in it, Ralph.
Aha. Only the way a professor can describe it.
Can't hear him.
I cannot imagine what happened to the smoke trap truck. The truck sounded like it was running. I don't know that he was having a banana Slurpee or what he was doing, sitting there resting or what happened, but it just didn't leave.
A banana Slurpee.
You've never had a banana Slurpee?
No, but if he had one, that is exactly why his truck didn't run. Who would eat a banana Slurpee, Galloway?
Galloway?
Yeah, exactly. Well, he really flew it off of this.
Now, right up, parks it, orders a burger and fries and maybe a chocolate ball.
That's the problem with those banana Slurpees. They will come back and haunt you later, see? I'm telling you, it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Snicker bar and a banana Slurpee, and I'm a happy foot camper.
The nose of the bull.
Okay, Ralph, you love it.
All I said was the nose of the bull.
I know. The way you looked at me. Well, the bull is snorting when it comes off that set of cars, isn't he? He's looking right down the recliner.
I wonder how many constitutes a herd.
A Bronco.
Well, of anything.
More than 5.
As opposed to the cornucopia, for instance, was a 5.
Well, you know, if you had fun in the cornucopia, then you could have 5. Where are you going, Ralph? I'm just trying to follow. In trouble now. Let's see what happened. Oh, completely sideways. There's the car. We're gone.
There's the professor of truckology.
I hear the man eats dirt for breakfast. I'm not sure, but, you know, some guys just never grow up. You know, we mentioned that we want you to send in your letters and questions, but also we want you to send in your best home videos. I know you go to a lot of the racetracks on the weekends. Well, we're looking for the wildest tailgate parties, the funniest infield bloopers, best karaoke performances, maybe some exciting local speedway action, whatever else you can dig up. Now, if we use your video on air, you're going to win all kinds of Motor Madness goodies like T-shirts and sweatshirts, hats, things that I have yet to see. So start sending in those camcorders, or not the camcorders, the tapes from your camcorders to us. Now, again, here's the address, Motor Madness, 2806 Opryland Drive, Nashville, 37214. Do that soon. We'd love to start getting those on air. Right now, Walt Yarborough and Mike Galloway, of course, the professor of truckology, out there in Memphis. What's it like, guys?
And coming in, number 44, as he brings it in, that is Mr. John Bates. Here's short wheelbase, but the big tires again.
No doubt about it. This is a 1972 Chevrolet Blazer, and they put a pickup bed on it. It looks like it's been in one of these races before. It's kind of skin on the right side. It's skin on the left side.
Skin in the front, skin in the back, skin on the top.
The top is fine.
Oh, top's in good shape.
There's not a problem with the top. 350 Chevrolet. It is short wheelbase. Got the big tires on it. This little truck may just be the one to put it around.
Oh, 5 seconds. He just got those big tires took down that stake right there. But he leaps her off the corner. Looks a lot like one of those monster trucks taking a run, doesn't he? Another stake. Another. That's 15 secondes.
After this, I don't think it's bothering him. He's going to get 2 more stakes. 1 more stake right there. He will bonsai it, though. Watch this.
He gets it up. He gets it up. And the crowd just loves him here at the Mid-South Coliseum. Pro Arena Truck Racing. And he is just giving it his all in there. Got this full face helmet on. He's got to back her up a little. He spins it.
Oh, watch the biggie. Watch the biggie. He may not be going to win the race, but he sure won everyone's heart. Clear the landing area. Here we go.
Here he goes. He's going to take her loose. There you go. And bounces that front end up again. Oh.
You know, the seat belts are to make for you not to go forward. It cannot stop you from going up. Let's watch this. This will put you right on your couch, won't it? Oh, my heavens. Is he in trouble? Oh. I backed up, and we're setting up quite a ways from it. What a great job.
Well, I tell you what, he just put the hammer down. And he just did the best job he knew how, and that's what he did. Now, here we go, another short wheelbase Chevrolet. This is a little short wheelbase pickup. It's got the
Dale Mitchell.
The frog, isn't it?
Dale Mitchell's got the frog out front. And Dale Mitchell is called Froggy, and this is a 455 cubic inch Pontiac. He's in two-wheel drive in a big Pontiac, and the Chevrolet may be a sweet setup for this.
Yeah, he painted John Deere green and yellow.
John Deere green and yellow with a Pontiac motor and call it Froggy. That works.
Chevrolet works every time for me.
The time to beat's 37.75. He could be there. He cannot make a mistake. That's the main thing about it. To beat that 37, he can't make a mistake. He's still in the hunt for it. He's got to really go for it at the finish line. The 36 is up. It is so close.
Oh, 38.50, but that's only 75/100ths of a second off the leader. So he's definitely in that top 15 where he wants to be. The tough and ugly of number 94.
Let's watch this young guy. You know, he didn't take off like you wanted him to, but when he got into it, into the later part of the track, which what we're looking at right now is the far end of the track and the close turn, he knows then that he's got a chance of winning this thing, and that's when he really gets serious about going for it. Like I said, it's in two-wheel drive. That hasn't made a lot of difference tonight. Two or four-wheel drive, clears some air, good landing on it.
Or just crush that tire.
Yeah, but it came back.
And a super job by Mr. Baker as he gets it done out there. And now coming up, when you say four-wheel drive, you've always said the name Jeep. And there's a Jeep Scrambler out there.
Well, this young man's only 19 years of age, Tommy Russell. He's also from right here in Memphis, Tennessee. He's single, and he's doing a great job. 350 Chevrolet in this 82 Jeep Scrambler. Now, he's not hammering this truck too hard, but he's, remember, you know, you got 25 trucks, 10 of them break. You're in the finals no matter what happens.
And when they break down, they don't get a time. Well, it's hard for them to make the top 15. It looks like some came bouncing out of the back one. That one, a big orange, it looked like a gas can came out.
With his lawn boy gas, it's not a problem.
Maybe he does yards during the week. But number 69, Tommy Russell, as he brings it up, he'll just pour on the coal at 350 Chevrolet and take the Scrambler over the hill.
Well, that's 44.90. That's very respectable for this.
That's 44.90 in finish. That's what he did.
So true, and that's going to put him definitely into the program this evening.
Well, now here's a big old Dodge coming out here. Big number 18, Gary Simmons. Short wheelbase, big power Ram Dodge, but look at the size of those wheels and tires.
440 cubic inches. He's from Covington, Tennessee, and he's off and running. The truck's been used for racing before, but not this kind of racing. It's set up for mud racing.
Well, now look at that. He went over that and didn't knock that stake down.
Well, that's amazing. Now he's got to finish this course. It is really working his arms to death just to get around this course. You know, he's at 18 seconds, and there went one of the traction bars off the front end. This could be kind of a dangerous situation. The bar, well,
it broke off then.
Yeah, it ripped itself off, so that's a lot better than hanging down and trying to go over all these jumps at one time. And it's going to not, you know, the control of the front end won't be near as good as it was, but he's going to be able to finish the course. 37.75 the time to beat. He's kind of gone past that. He did make a good turn. This is going to be, you know, all in all, this is a pretty good run. This is a 46.89.
46.89 for the Dodge after ripping off part of the torsion bar suspension up front as number 18, Gary Simmons, gets out there, and then coming up number 70, that's Paul Bowen. And Paul's got another one of the short wheelbase Blazers, and looks like he's got the windows open on that and the hood off of it.
Well, he wants to get all the air to it that he can. This guy's out of Bartlett, Tennessee. It's a Jimmy, a 1975 350 cubic inch. You know, these are going to become real popular in off-road racing. They are, but this with Army Green, there is a lot of these that are coming available in Army surplus. Ooh, that's got to hurt, but he just keeps on hammering. It's going for the gold.
Well, he's trying to get that top 15 that'll be coming back later as he brings it around the corner. He sets it up.
Well, now this may help his racing. He's sponsored by Memphis Equipment. It's the nation's largest Army truck and parts dealer. So that's very well could help the Blazer situation.
Well, he's just got one seat inside that thing, so he set it up for racing. All the glass is out except for the front windscreen. And number 70, Paul Bowen, brings it across the line and finishes up with a pretty respectable 45.57. Again, going for the top 15 spots. And speaking of 15, here's number 15. That's Lawrence Ransdell in a truck he calls Zabisco. I wonder if he's talking about the little wrestler, Larry Zabisco.
Higgins, Missouri came a long ways to race. It looks just kind of like a stock Blazer, but check it out. It's two-wheel drive in the front. It's got a straight axle under. It's got a 3/4-ton truck rear end. It's 350 Chevrolet. He's ran the Missouri State Fair. He's been in Kemper Arena with this. Now, he's got a little bounce on it, not as bad as you would expect, though. He's got the smaller tires, so he's not getting a lot of high-powered bouncing out of it. You may see a brand-new leader. This guy could be the one to take it over tonight. He has got a great pass. He's at 24 seconds, 26 seconds. All he's got to do is make that swing 37.75. I believe the lead. It's close to that mark. Here he comes. This guy can do it. All he's got to do, he needs to be on the throttle. Let's see what.
Lawrence Ransdell, 37.23, puts him on the top. He had the right combination of weight and balance. Big tires in the rear, small tires in the front. Didn't get a lot of pneumatic balance. Now, here's a pretty truck.
I love the way this Zabisco truck works. It's really not out of control. I mean, he's not getting a lot of high bounce. The truck's pretty well glued to the ground. Makes a good turn on it. This is, here again, I think he decides when he goes down that straight, he looks over his left shoulder, sees the clock, and says, I can do this. There's the finish line. That's all it took. You know, he's in the top 15. There's not a doubt about that.
Well, it's Mike Nielsen coming up, and here's a unique combination.
Des Moines, Iowa. It is a 96 Blazer. It is absolutely state of the art. It is state of the art.
And here he comes. He's got an onboard camera. Let's go to point of view with Mr. Nielsen as he brings it around in his Chevrolet Blazer. As he brings it out and down that straightaway, he knows what the time to shoot for is, and he's doing really well, Mike.
This has got to be hurting on the inside. Look at this. They got in trouble. I don't know where the steering broke on it. Something went awry. He reached up, kills the motor, but he really had a good run going. This is the inside shot of the camera, and this is a sad shot. There's Mike. The helmet's going to come off. They've got to be disappointed.
He had a great run going. He said everything just seemed to be going well. It sounded like maybe he broke something mechanical.
All right, Mike Nelson.
Up and over the jump. It's got a Ranger front end on it. It's got a 9-inch Ford rear end. It's a 350 Chevrolet. Should have all the parts. I don't know what happened to it, Walt, but it's not good.
Well, they'll push him back, and then we'll hear from our sponsors. Welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. It's the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge, and right now we're right in the middle of Pro Arena Truck Racing. And I'm Walt Yarber along with Mike Galloway. Number 29 is up, and that is Rick Armbrust.
Green Valley, Illinois, employee of Caterpillar. This truck is built for race. I mean, all out. It is as good a Pro Arena truck as you ever want to see. 302 Ford. It's set up. Look at the back of it. You see the suspension on it, the way the shocks are set up. It's got a good soft suspension. It's not killing him on the inside of it. This truck is making the track. Needs to beat a 37.23 right now. I'd say he's got a cinch on that. It doesn't break. Let's see what happens, and it is beautiful.
32.40 seconds for the young man out of Illinois, Rick Armbrust, as he in the USA Motorsports Pro Arena Truck Racing does an excellent job out there. And, you know, I bet he's been watching the other competitors run and what he's had to do out here.
Beautiful job. Let's see what happens with it. Like I said, this truck is set up to run this class. It's not a conversion over truck where you're doing mud racing with it. This truck is Pro Arena, and you can tell by the way it lands. No bounce on it, no give, no anything. Just the winner right now.
That's the pro side of Pro Arena. And now number 21 coming out. That is Rendell Harlan, and that's a beautiful, shiny black step-side pickup.
1977 Ford 351 in it, working on the truck and racing. That's what he says his hobby. Look at this truck work.
Well, he's been working it well.
Oh, and it is super good. He's at like 16 seconds halfway through the course. This man may do it now. He's on the throttle, and this truck is beautiful. This thing is working absolutely perfect. 4 shots of tire. He high-sides it. Come on. Go for the throttle. Go for the throttle. This may be it.
And 29.31 seconds. They continue to improve, and that beautiful black shiny Ford showed them all how it's done. But you got to see in that truck, There's triple shocks in the rear, dual shocks in the front. He knew what he was doing.
It's set up to do just exactly what it did, and that's go out and go around this course and go fast. Now, here's where a lot of people get them up in the air. When they land, they cannot control the truck, and that is not the case with this truck. It is up in the air, but when it lands, watch the front end of it glue to the ground. No big high-sided, no coming off the ground. Truck just goes into the turns. He handles well. There's where he high-sides it. That cost him some precious time, but you know what? It's still enough. He's in the lead at a 29.31. This is really pretty.
And now coming up is another one of the Jeep products, and this is Jeff Wint, number 11 at the helm of this one. Full roll bar. This truck is set up well.
It's a fuel-injected motor, so he sure didn't have any problems getting around this racetrack as far as starving the fuel. And look how quick he's going at it now. He's down the back chute at 10 seconds, and that hurt him just a little bit. Still with small tires on it. Slings it on a 15. Looking at the 29, he could be there if he can only control down this straightaway. That's coming into your living room, and I mean right down the couch. Let's see if he can handle this turn. High side, it is going to be real, real close. Could be the man.
It's 29.25 by 6/100ths of a second. He just hammered her down to bring her into the lead, and it's Jeep sitting on top with this young man, number 11, Jeff Wint. Look at this replay when he'll bring it up here. There he comes, Jeff Wint, bringing it across. And tell you what, Mike, nobody knows more about this than you do. How is he handling this?
Well, the fuel-injected motor is really doing all he can. He's got more horsepower. He's putting it on the ground. He's hanging it out on the outside of it. He's sitting up there controlling the truck, not letting the truck control him, and I think that's probably a big key to this.
Driver skill, driver skill. Now, here's a little Nissan pickup flatbed. A little four-cylinder engine.
Oh, stand by. This is so much fun and so much excitement. He says it's stock. If it is a great stock truck. Out of Moline.
Oh, look at him.
Moline, Illinois. I don't care how out of shape he gets.
Roy Fisher.
He's going to be on the throttle. That's all Roy knows. Give it the gas. Give it the gas. Looks like he hauled a little hay during the week. Oh, it's up. Oh, look out, look out, look out.
Oh, and Roy Fisher took her over on her side. You can see those transaxles spinning down on the flatbed. He raised his hand. The rescue crew goes over there to him.
Oh, this is going to be beautiful, and he had a great pass going up to this point. Here comes a little help out on the track to roll him back up. Let's watch him now. Look at this. One thing about Roy, one thing that he doesn't know, and that's called let up. He will not let up. He's got it up on his side. There it rose just a little bit. He almost saved it, Walt. He almost brought it out of that.
And look at this. He's going for the finish. And he got it done. Look at that. Now there he goes. He's taking it right over on the side.
Almost saved it. It is so close.
Just eases right on down. And we'll be back with more Pro Arena truck racing right after this. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum, USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge, Pro Arena Truck Racing, and coming up next, number 68, Mr. Shane Ballard, and that's a full race rig, Mike.
That's the Zebra ejected forward. We've seen these injected motors work well. That whoop down there is really beginning to rut up a little bit, and it's going to hurt them. This truck, this guy run the Reno to Vegas, or Vegas to Reno desert race, so this is truly a desert racing truck. I mean, it's pro all the way around. Look at the truck. Look how it lands.
Oh, he took a hard hit on that one.
Hadn't planned on that, but it hasn't hurt him. He's at 25 seconds right now. He's got to go for a 29. Take the lead.
30.28, just about 97/100ths of a second off of it.
That's okay. It's going to qualify, no doubt, for the top 15. So he's in the hunt on it. He'll be better next time he comes around. Watch this truck, the way it handles. I mean, this is where you're seeing the pro start of Pro Arena truck. It's a desert truck. It knows that this is what it's supposed to do. That hurt pretty bad, but you notice the truck doesn't bobble when it lands. It's right back on all four tires. High sides it just a little bit, just rocks it up on the side, and that's getting dangerously tough down on that end. Not that anything's going to happen. We've seen one go over.
And there's number 27 as he takes off. Another one of the tough and ugly off-road sponsors entry. That's Daniel Sutter, and Daniel just pulls it right up on the wheel victory. And boy, he's sliding loose. Oh, no noser in down there, but kept the gas on. Took a stake down for a 5-second one. It looks like he knocked. Did he knock a wheel off?
He's lost the right front tire. Hasn't slowed him down all that much.
This young man is just going for it, and he's taking down stakes and out on the concrete and spinning around. He's going to try to come back. He's going to go over like the monster truck, and and go over him. Oh, ho, ho! Now that's called putting it all on for everybody.
Watch this. This guy's at 35, 34. You know what? He'd be able to come back. This is where he gets in trouble. If this hadn't happened, he probably would have been right on top of all the numbers. Watch this big bonsai pass, and when it lands, blows the right front tire out. Almost blows the left front, but the right goes completely out. It compressed it and took it all off. Well, now that 35 will not live because he's knocked down a whole lot of stakes.
Well, he knocked down a couple of stakes, but still, I think he knocked down one here and one or two others. Maybe 55, 60 seconds. They might make it in the top 15. But coming up next is number 12, the green on green, go for broke of Rob Mello.
Fresno, California race fans, listen up. This truck has 108,000 miles on a stock motor. His dad bought it brand new. He has been racing it. He knows he's got a lot of guys that outclass him in the motor, but you're not going to outclass him in the driving. Came out from Fresno to make this tour, and trust me, he's going to hang it out. This guy is tough.
And 29.25, it's a dead heat. Time to beat 29.25. He puts it right on the mark at 29.25. So I tell you what, he came out, Mr. Mello from California, to show him how it's done. Watch him through this replay, Mike.
He's just driving the truck, and I mean he is really driving this truck. A new leader, 109,000 miles on it. This truck's got a two-barrel on it. A two-barrel carburetor. It's all stock. He said, Mike, I've never taken the valve covers off of it.
Well, coming up next, number 26. That's Mike Rosenthal. Now, there's another old Ford Bronco. It's called Cheaper Than a Wife.
Well, these Ford Broncos are just dominating this stuff right now because a lot of the Ford Broncos, the parts are available. They've been racing them desert off-road for many years, so there's literally thousands of parts available for them. This truck is working extremely well. Mike knows how to drive it, has no problem with it. 75 Bronco 302. He's at the 22nd mark, still has not a long ways to go. He can be in this hunt. He's going to be in the top 15 if he can just, I like to spoke too soon. I thought he was going to put it on his side. Beautiful pass.
30.99 seconds, but a great run for
that youngster's
number 26 as he did it out there, Mike Rosenthal. And the final truck of the Pro Arenas is coming up. But let's take a look at Rosenthal one more time, Mike Galloway, and kind of carry him through. Look at that thing get up in the air.
But watch the truck come back down though and settle. When it doesn't bounce around. When it hits the ground, the throttle's on it, the truck is ready to go forward.
And coming up next, the beautiful red, white, and blue and stars, another Bronco, and this is Joe Brozovich. And this is a beautiful desert race setup rig.
Brozovich is tough. Juliet, Illinois, and believe me, he can very well pace this whole course tonight. You're going to see the fast of fast. Look at this. Up in the air, and he's only at 12 seconds. He's halfway around the course at 12 seconds. We may see literally the quick time shattered with this Bronco. Glues in. Boy, he got a little wide that time, almost into the camera's lap. Look at now, 24. He's going to do it. Wow, what a job.
26.86 seconds. And let's see, he didn't take down a stake over there. So he is okay as Joe Brozovich in number 88. So it's just gotten better and better. And Mike Galloway, here's the replay, and tell him how this man did it.
Watch the driver now. See how he lands? He's not bouncing around inside that. He's got full control of that truck. The truck is glued to the ground. These whoops doesn't affect him. Here's his big bonsai pass, the finish line. The checkered flag stops it. It is beautiful.
And with Joe Brozovich doing such a great job there, Mike Galloway, we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum here in Memphis, Tennessee. And Joe Brozovich ran a tremendous run out there.
Oh, he did a great job. This guy out on the track right this very minute, though, he's doing a great job. This is Doug DeMocas, calls himself the Wheelie King out of California. Doug DeMocas can do about anything that needs to be done on one wheel on a wheelie. Brozovich he was just awesome with that run. He's just truly unbelievable. That 302 cubic inch Ford just did a great job. Well, here's the top five at this moment. Brozovich setting up with a 26.86. Mello, the stock Ford, 29.25. A tie in there. But Mello in the lead. Jeff won it at 29.25. Randall Harlan, 29.31. And then Mike Rosenthal at 30.99. That's the top 5. I think the bump on this, the cutoff point was at the 48.89. That's the man that Gary Lee Simmons. He looks like he was number 15 tonight, if my scorekeeping is correct. We'll know a little bit later on. But it looks like that he will be the last one that gets in this top 15 round.
And during that Pro Arena truck racing, we all saw everything from busted suspensions, broken drive shafts, rolled over trucks, 2-wheel drives and 4-wheel drives, and a lot of great things were happening out there. And down on the arena floor, we have the leader in our Pro Arena trucks with our man, Fred Bartson.
Well, I got him, Joe Brozovic, the big guy right here, in first place with a 26.86. Joe, that Bronco seems to be really dialed in.
Yeah, the Bronco is running excellent. The performance it's putting out is unreal. I really have to say special thanks to my sponsor, Scott Walsh of Rockdale Automotive. Him and Steve Eikens here, one of his mechanics, really put this thing together for me and helped me out through the whole series.
That's great. Well, you see, it really seemed to be flying around the track. Which part of the track seems to be the toughest part?
It seemed like the last set of whoops before the final finish line, it threw me up on the side, and I had to back out of it a little bit just to play it safe so I'd have a good time. And other than that, it's about the roughest part of the course.
Great. Well, that's Joe Brozovic in first place. Back up to you.
This is Bob and Marilyn Chandler's truck out of Hazelwood, Illinois. Bigfoot, well, it's a legend. If a truck can be a legend, this is a legend. But the story in this truck is the young man sitting behind the wheel. Dan Runke started back in he's been in the sport for quite a while. He started out doing some truck pulling, helping a gentleman tour with the truck, then went to work with Chandler. A few years later, he stepped into the driver's seat. This is probably number 14. There is Dan on the inside. There's so many integral parts to this truck that are sitting in there. He has a remote control kill on the truck. These trucks will come to the starting line. You'll think the motors have died. They're checking the kill switches out to shut them trucks off for a remote control. If something was to happen, the driver become incapacitated, they can push a button and shut the motor down. Here's the other side of it.
The snake bite.
Yes. Cobra's truck out of Cobra Creek, Colorado. You know, it's a Ford truck. It is tough. He has got very, very good equipment. Very good equipment.
I tell you, look at some of the lines on Snakebite. It looks like maybe Ford took some of those lines incorporated into their new F-150.
It kind of gives you that idea a little bit, doesn't it? Well, one thing about this truck, believe me, he can win this race. A lot of times you think, you know, Bigfoot's got a lock on something. That is not the case. The lights are on Snakebite. They pull them into stage. It will be, Walt, a great race.
Minimum weight, 10,000 pounds, 5 tons apiece.
5 tons apiece are about Lord, let's race them.
And it looks like Snakebite got the jump on him, but it looks like he's been to run up on the wheels as here they come across. It's very close.
They're dead heat right now. They are absolutely dead. The line
looks like...
oh, listen.
I'm not going to call that one. It was too close for me to call.
Doesn't say official on my shirt either. I tell you what.
Not one spot.
They were just absolutely looked like they crossed the line at the same time. That's how close these two trucks are. Let's take a look at the replay. Here's Foot. He gets it up on 2 wheels just a little bit. Picks up the left one. That right one's just barely on the ground, or the left rear. Now he's on the throttle. Let's see if I can... From my vantage point, and I'm not the official, but it looked like the blue truck.
Yeah, just by a fraction. A fraction at the very least, and that's as close to a photo finish. You saw it, the Executioner and the smoke truck. Yeah, but it was Bigfoot by just a hair, just by a little old foot.
Probably by a headlight.
Yeah. And we saw the same thing between the Executioner and the Smokecraft truck earlier today.
And we're going to see it again. The Smokecraft truck comes back as fast loser. That is...
So it's brother against brother one more time. All brothers nose to nose.
True. Out of the 3 rounds we ran, this truck was the fastest loser of those 3 rounds. I don't look for things to change this time around. Tim's got a handle on the Smokecraft truck, but Mark Hall was just unbelievable in that first round. He got around the corners, he got into the turns and around the turns as good or better than anyone we've seen run in this monster truck racing this evening.
Okay, and the Smokecraft Beef Jerky truck, that's got front engine technology in that truck. He's in the near lane. Now in the far lane, the Executioner's got that mid-engine or rear-engine technology.
Now what we're seeing, we just saw inside the cab. They come from outside. It's raining outside at this very time. The driver's fogged over. Let's go racing. Smokecraft with a little bit of lead, but that's changing. Look at the Executioner all the way. The Executioner in the lead at this moment.
And he pulls him around this end. And it was the Executioner.
Just about put Smokecraft on its side coming off the cars.
Both these brothers running for bragging rights among the family, and would love to be the winner here tonight at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. As they go back him around and get him lined up, he came off that corner hard, but it was the Executioner taking the win there, and let's go on board with him.
This is what it's like. If you want to drive a monster truck, you want to find out what it's all about, you're inside the Executioner. Here's where he's hard in that turn, on the throttle. Look at the steering wheel. Not a lot of movement on it now down the chute. Big, high, lots of power coming off of it. Back into the throttle again. He swings it into the turn. This is where he's really on the throttle. He's got the tires cut all the way to the left. Now straightens it out. This is the shot for the finish line. You saw his brother on the other side. It's not too close. He takes it about a fender or so.
Well, it's the Executioner against the Smokecraft, and Executioner comes out on top. And a tremendous job for the Hall brothers as they brought a lot of excitement here.
Oh, you know, we talk about good racing. We've seen great trucks. We've seen a fabulous Chevrolet or GMC. We've seen the Bigfoot truck, and they're both really dialed in for this kind of racing. This is the final round in the first portion of King of the Hill. I wouldn't even venture to bet who was going to win this one. The Ford truck is on. It's good. It's ready to go. But that Executioner truck is really awesome tonight. The man with the mark on his mind is Mark Hall. He would like nothing better
than to take down the Bigfoot.
Take out the blue truck.
And get on his way to that road to Indianapolis.
Well, he's got a good shot at it. Now, this is the first portion of a two-segment King of the Hill race.
Yeah.
The points are on the line. There's a 10-point difference. They add them together at the end of the evening. That's your King of the Hill. Here's the staging. There's Dirtnation, and he's ready to ride.
Well,
Thumbs up.
Here they go.
It's close right now. Watch him go to work. The Executioner up on two wheels. Bigfoot in the lead. Bigfoot's there right this moment. The Halls have got to really get on the throttle. He's in trouble. It is Bigfoot.
Oh, look out, look out. Oh, Bigfoot just took her over and just destroyed it. He was in trouble trying to outrun the blue truck, and Mark Hall just took it over. He gave it just all there was to give.
Well, they're over there checking on him right this moment. These trucks are not made to turn over, but they are made for the safety's sake if one of them's going to go over. And there are times, we just saw him do it. He's out of shape just a little bit here when he gets around this corner, but he's hard on the throttle. He wants to win this thing. See, he's going at it. Now he's over in trouble. He didn't make it around, and it's a roll over the cars. It's going to be a tough roll on that truck because he went on top of the car that you see laying over there. Didn't go all the way over, kind of slid off to the side. They're working getting him out of the truck. I would doubt very seriously if there's any problem. Here is the onboard camera. You're not going to see it any better than this. He's got it in trouble right there. He knows it when he does, and it rocks over on the side. Hey, great camera work right there. I don't want to be operating.
I don't want to be the cameraman, but you can see up here as he took that rollover, the driver comes out of it. As the driver is out, he is okay. And everybody's very happy about that as he comes out of the truck. And I tell you what, some exciting racing here at the Mid-South Coliseum. Right now, Fred is downstairs with the survivor of that spill.
Well, I got him right here, Mark Hall. Mark, we knew it'd be a fierce night of racing. Looks like you wanted that one pretty bad. What happened?
Yeah, we wanted it hard there. We knew he was going to have to take out or pull out all the stops to beat Bigfoot there. I think I was okay over this set of, or coming into this set of cars, and I think I got a little close to the pole and was trying to make it up and made a big wide turn there, and I caught that other dirt hill over there.
How much damage is done to the truck?
Oh, just kind of looking at it. Don't look too bad. That happens. Usually a lot of fiberglass damage, but as far as the framework and everything, it holds up pretty good.
All right, so you'll be back later?
Yeah, we're going to try.
Great. Mark Hall.
Thank you.
And I tell you what, some exciting racing here at the Mid-South Coliseum. And Randy and Katie, well, we're going to go back to the studio. y'all top that there.
I don't think we can. We're not even going to try. What an exciting deal. I'm glad I wasn't in that truck. I don't want to know what that feels like. But taking this quick break here at halftime. We'll get back to the monster trucks in just a few, but let's do a little Miller Lite news and notes for you, shall we? As you know, if you saw the race, it was very exciting last weekend. Del Jarrett overcame the ignition problems and a few horrifying crashes. Also on his way to victory lane for the first time this season. Vaulted him to the top of the points. A lot of smashing, a lot of crashing. Let's take a look back. What a race. Took a long time to clean up that grissom wet. 52 minutes, in fact, so it was an exciting race. Now, last night, NASCAR and the entertainment business teamed up for a great cause. Texas Station in Las Vegas hosted an unplugged concert benefiting the Chris Trickle Medical Fund. Trickle, he's the nephew of Winston Cup driver Dick Trickle. He remains in serious condition from a gunshot wound. Rocking the house was Mark Colley. There are Matt and Gunnar Nelson, and a whole lot of people were there. Raised some good money. Hopefully, guy will get well real soon and be back in the action with us all. Coming up, Eli Gold. We can't do a week without that guy, and he has a very special guest, new driver for the Hendrick team, Ricky Craven. That's coming up. Oh, man, this set is entirely too clean. We're going to have to tear this place up just a little bit. Give me a little fun while I'm watching all the action from Memphis. Let's go back to Walt and Mike to Memphis in the Mid-South Coliseum.
And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum. Thanks, guy. USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. And I tell you what, Mike Galloway, what a challenge. Mark Hall did the job.
Did he ever? He did the job in grand style. But, you know, Mark, as he mentioned, he knew that he had to go all out to beat the Bigfoot truck. He got crossed up, then caught the corner, and that flipped the truck over. This is what it's all about. The youngsters here with mom and dad enjoying it. There's a Bigfoot fan. He's liking what he's seeing. His truck is there. He says it's #1. Well, at this moment it is. There is the Hall brothers truck. Don't count these guys out. Now, we've still got one round of competition left to go in monster truck racing, and that is the side-by-side drag racing. This truck is hurt. It's scratched up. They've dented the fiberglass. It's not out.
Look at the roll bar on the top of it.
It's not out of the woods by any means. The track, it is beautiful. The traction has been awesome, and these people are truly just working themselves to death trackside.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ken and all the people from USA Motorsports did a tremendous job of setting this track up in what is a relatively small confines of the Mid-South Coliseum. And it has been some great racing. Pro Arena truck racing has been tremendous. We see some super driving out of this and driving skill out of these monster truck drivers. And you know what? It's not been horsepower or even technology today. It has been pure ability and driver skill.
Finesse. Now we're coming monster trucks.
Yes, sir. And it's the Snakebite coming in. The big long fangs hanging down. Misbehaving versus Snakebite in the side-by-side drags round 1. And Mike Galloway, this seems like an awfully short space to be doing drag racing in.
It is. It's big horsepower. It's short space. You got to stop it as fast as you start it. You know, earlier when these two matched up against each other in the obstacle course racing, we thought that Snakebite might have had just a touch of advantage. In the drag racing, I think that advantage has probably gone by the wayside. Still has some advantage. The tires on the back of it are cut. They've shaved about 200 pounds off of them. These are Firestone tires, and they are uncut Firestone tires. They probably weigh about 1,100 pounds. That's tire and wheel and all. That's hung weight. Well, there's the man, Dave Byers. He does a great job with this snakebite truck. Blown 572 cubic inch aluminum Ford up against a blown 460. Both of them on alcohol. There's no nitrous oxide, no nitromethane allowed in this
oxygenating agents, as they call them?
No oxygen-carrying fuel in it, any of these trucks. Whether it is Pro Arena trucks or monster trucks, there's no oxygen-carrying fuels allowed in the sport. There they sit, two of the best. They are lined up. They're state-of-the-art. They're gas shocks, 26-inch travel on these trucks. As the man comes in, looks them over. This is going to be great. Backs out. He's got the motor running. These are alcohol motors. They'll actually run and perform much better when they're warm. So they won't get in any big hurry. Julie will not get in a big hurry. She's moved into stage. Now here comes Snakebite, slithering his way up to the starting line.
Reactions, the name of the game right here.
It will be butterflies flat, and the trucks will be airborne for just a short period of time.
Here they go. Oh, very quickly, and it was the Snakebite, and just popped the throttle, popped the brakes, and it was Snakebite who did it and did misbehaving in. Julie Christensen showing a great job out there, but the Snakebite just, you know, they say that nothing strikes quicker than the snake.
This truck builds a lot of horsepower. Picked the right front tire probably 2 foot off the ground from the starting line. We've talked about it all night long, what kind of bite that this truck has. Look at the right front tire. Watch this work. Picks up both the tires. The right's a little bit higher, settles them almost to the end. The guy's on a vengeance mission. He could be tough. Snakebite is really a good running monster truck.
Now, when he comes off that hill, you know, he's airborne. He's fixing to come down to the other side of all the wrecked cars out here. They've gone over and mashed down. Now, does he immediately go for the brakes? Are the brakes on before the truck even hits the ground?
Let the truck land and then stop the truck. If you apply the brakes and stop the tires in the air and the truck hits the ground, it's going to hurt truck and driver.
Just stop too quick? Would it skid? Would it roll over? What would it do?
Well, the thing about it is you can nose the truck over. If you're on the brakes, the front tires are locked up, the truck lands with the front, the truck's going to flop over nose down. So you don't want on the brakes at all. Well, this will be good.
Yeah, the Bigfoot versus the Dragon Slayer, side-by-side drag racing. And, of course, out of Utah, it is the Dragon Slayer driver, Mr. Jenkinson.
525 cubic inch Donovan. It is a takeoff of a Chrysler engine, the Hemi Chrysler engine that has powered about every type of drag racing car that has ever been thought of, from Top Fuels to funny cars. Pro stock racers. These Hemis have been around. Donovan has designed one quite a while ago, and it's a little bit better on the bottom end of it. And there's the big blue truck from St. Louis. The lights that are on at this time, the red light inside, tells the operator of the remote control that the truck is ready. Everything is on switch. The remote control kill is ready to be functional. They shut the truck down, bring it to the staging area. Now you're going to bring in the Dragon Slayer. He'll ease it in here again, trying to build a little heat. It's cooler outside. Temperature has not got a lot to do with it tonight. The Dragon Slayer into the starting line easy. This should be quite a race. Let's see how this comes about.
3 years of experience versus 20. And look at the Bigfoot! Oh-ho! He just got her on and on the brakes hard. I tell you what, 20 years of experience versus a good, strong, solid 3 years in racing. It was the Bigfoot just pouring it on.
That truck really showed what it can do. Watch the front tires. Watch him pick the front end of this truck completely up. Truck is airborne in the front. See that? The tires never touch the ground until he finishes the race. That's how much horsepower. Look at this. Front end up in the air. He's carrying the front tires all the way across. At the finish line, he sets them down. He's a truck length.
Yeah, full truck length ahead. Now, on the braking of this, I was looking at these trucks earlier today. The brakes aren't on the wheels and tires.
Driveline. That's actually a better place to stop the truck. It stops the ring gear, it stops the pinion, and it also stops the axles and then out to the tires. Well, you know, if a normal car brakes each individual tire.
Well, I tell you what, they did a great job with that in this short area, and we've seen some great side-by-side drag racing. USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Memphis, Tennessee, the Mid-South Coliseum. USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge, and it's been a great one. Let's go down to our man down on the floor, Mr. Fred Bartson, as he's down there with the driver. Bigfoot hasn't gotten in here yet as it's raining outside. It's been storming, lots of things happening. It's warm inside here in the Coliseum. And now we've got the driver of Bigfoot in here and down with Fred Bartson, our man down on the floor.
Actually, I got Dave Byers, the driver of Snake Bite. Dave, great run.
Yeah, we're hooking up really good here tonight. We've got really good dirt. Hopefully next round, I think I've got Bigfoot. Hopefully I can take him out, take the finals here.
And that's going to come down to reaction time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with reaction time. Dan's got a lot more seat time than I do, but how many things do you know that's quicker than a snake?
Great. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, and the Snake Bite will be back later on. We'll come back right after these commercial messages. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee for USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. And it's back for the second round of Pro Arena Truck Racing, the top 15. And that's John Jungblut, number 17 out there in that flatbed Chevrolet, Mike.
He was on the bubble. He was the number 16th one. One of the trucks wasn't able to come back. John's going to definitely give it a shot. This is the last run of the night. He wants all he can get out of this truck, bits and pieces, and he just got all that it's going to get. Died, fired it back up. He's still in good shape, though. He's running a lot better than he did earlier. He's on a 26-second mark, but it sounds like it jumped out of gear on that time around. The transmission gave way, and it's only money as John will just shake his head.
And he either broke some linkage loose or the transmission went loose. But the chain man comes out, and the front end loaders will be out there to pick him up. And the thing about Pro Arena Racing, Mike Galloway, and you've been around it longer than anybody. You've seen it grow from an outdoor sport now coming indoors and coming of age. These are guys that some of them are professionals, follow the entire circuit year-round, and others are guys that do a little mud racing on the side. And that's the beauty, the true backbone of American racing right here.
Yes, and the thing about it is, unlike a lot of sports that we see, many of these racers that you're seeing come back in this 15 tonight actually drove to the racetrack.
Because that's the only truck they got.
That's exactly right. We saw a truck out in the pit area pulling a trailer. On the trailer was one of the race trucks. The truck pulling the trailer had a number on it. So it's competing tonight. I hope it didn't break it. Then we got a real problem.
Yeah, they got a problem getting home. But this is, like I said, the real backbone of it up is these young people come out here, they join it, they become a part of it, truly get involved in racing. That may be where the future monster truck drivers come from, Houston, the future racers for off-road. And Bobby Stewart right here, another one of the little Blazer. That's a Bronco, full-size Bronco with the big dinosaur on the front.
1987 Bronco 429, won a 37.75 the first time around. A 37.75, that's a great run. Well, let's see if he can improve on that. Remember, it is the fastest of the two runs, is the one that counts.
And another free-floating rear end in this thing.
Yeah, and he looks good. He really looks good. Except the back of the truck, the cab is coming up about 6 inches from the frame off that last set of jumps. Watch the back of the truck when it goes over some of these jumps. The body itself is leaving the frame. I think we've rusted some bolts out somewhere along the way.
And in white grease pencil written on the dark glass on the back, it says "Born to Boogie."
Well,
that thing has been boogieing all over this race course.
The back of it is kind of a tilt rear end.
Yeah.
Let's see the big jump here. He's not going to go for the big one.
I think Bobby knows he heard it.
48-14. Well, he'll take his first round at a 37.75. There's no doubt about that.
And the Ford Zilla goes out, Born to Boogie. Well, Bobby's done a great job out here. And they bring on number 94. And that is Dale Mitchell, number 94, and that's the John Deere green and yellow Chevrolet.
With a 455 Pontiac in the Chevrolet.
And a frog on the hood with lighted eyes.
A lighted-eyed frog. Went a 3850 first time around. The Pontiac runs well, very well. 3850. Let's see how the truck runs. This is kind of a mud racing truck. He's done a great job. He's at about a 12-second mark, 13 right this moment. He's over that big jump, the cars, now to the whoops. He slacks off of it. They tell me you can't really, and then fuel left the carburetor. That's all of it.
Well, you can imagine just throwing that much fuel up in the air and it sloshes around and goes out of it. And he starts it back up and it loads up and big flop of black smoke comes out of the smokestack. But he's going to keep on running. And again, like I said, the beauty of this, hey, this guy probably drives this truck nearly every day of the week, back and forth to work. He comes on the weekends to race. And his whole dream is to continue to be a part of the racing world. And Pro Arena Truck Racing allows them to enter the big time, to see what it's like, and to come right into homes all over America to be a part of the racing history of monster truck racing and Pro Arena Truck Racing.
55.71. He'll keep his 38.50.
All right, I'm just trying to get cozy here at the lovely studios of Motor Madness here in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, I've been trying to get a new chair. You guys at home, very comfortable, cozy, lounging about, slouching around, but not me. No, this chair forces you to sit up straight, and I've had enough of it, so I went shopping. You know, North Carolina known for its furniture. Here's what I picked out. Look at the sleekness, the aerodynamic beauty of this chair. That would work very well in this studio, I think. I could really just cozy right up to that beauty. This one comes with its own roll bars. I like the looks of that one. It's kind of modern, kind of different, fluffy, stuffy looking thing. And then I like this one also. It's kind of boring, more traditional look, but still the comfort factor is very important to me. So I'm kind of looking for something in this variety. If you maybe have a spare chair at home and it's quite cozy, you might want to send it to us here. If we don't like it, we'll just have a yard sale. It doesn't really matter. So just trying to get cozy here, you know, just trying. It's a little bear. Speaking of bear, let's go back. Memphis, Tennessee, Mid-South Coliseum. The monster trucks are still going at it. Isn't it fun?
And number 69 coming in, that's Tommy Russell, and that's in that Jeep Scrambler with that big V8 in it.
That's that 19-year-old that earlier this evening just finessed the track. He didn't throw one dirt quad anywhere. Just drove it around. Well, he went around fast enough, 44.90, to put him into the fast 15. Let's see if he changes his style any. Tommy may be looking for money. That may be Tommy's answer to this. And see, he's still got the gas can in the back of it for the lawnmower that he lost earlier. Over the jumps down the far side. This will come right into the easy chair, if you would. He's still just easing it around. There's a 350 Chevrolet underneath the hood of that Scrambler.
Well, he seems to be running a better time than he did last time as he comes off on number 69, the Jeep Scrambler, as he takes it around the course. Tommy Russell.
Tommy Russell ran a 44.90 the first time. He's at a 37 this time. Much better time. Now Tommy's going to go for it. Let's see. Come on, Tommy. A 44.44. That's better. He went 44.90 earlier.
And big number 18. Coming onto the field now. That's the big Dodge coming in of Gary Simmons. Again, the big tires, but it is short wheelbase. Got the roll bar with the big lights up on top, kind of like a hunting rig. Big brush guard.
Covington, Tennessee, the hometown of this machinist. He doesn't waste any time leaving the starting line, stretches it way out to the right-hand side.
Looks like he had a turn signal on when he was going to go around that corner.
Well, that's polite of him. Everyone should do that, except the old it died trick happened.
Yeah, the 318 probably got the two-barrel carburetor on it. Just lost fuel coming out of that corner as he's sitting there with no good answers to a bad problem.
Oh, this is a big 440.
440?
Yeah, this is big horsepower.
Oh, a big wedge head.
And all it's going to take now is the hook.
Well, I tell you what, the New Holland comes out, he comes up, pulls his front wheels off, and at this time, we'll go talk to our sponsors. Welcome back to Mid-South Coliseum Pro Arena Truck Racing. USA Motorsports number 70, Paul Bowen, has got that army green Chevrolet Blazer out there.
Calls it the General. This is the gentleman who works for the nation's largest army truck parts dealer, and he ran a 45.57 the first time around. 45.57 for his 350 cubic inch Jimmy GMC. And he's doing a good job, but oh, that really hurt. That was just so tough on it. Now he's got a trick rear end under it. It's not the half ton that came with it. It looks like a 3/4 ton or in that area. Now he's still on the throttle, doing a good job. He's at the 31-second mark. Ran a 45.57 first time. Let's see if he can beat that. If he swings hard, really on the throttle, he may improve this time just a little bit. Well,
now 44 seconds even, so he did improve his time. And number 70, not only the tough and ugly, I think Paul Bowen, number 70, number 15 coming in right behind him. And number 15 is Lawrence Randall. That's the Zabisco truck at number 15. Again, another Chevrolet. I think it's a Chevrolet bow tie on the front of that one. And this is a Chevrolet short wheelbase, 2-door, full-size Blazer.
Trust me, this truck is very, very fast. We proved that the first round at a 37.23. That's how fast he is. He just blistered this track. This truck handles extremely well for a big truck. And I mean big as a full-size truck. No fiberglass on it except for the roof. It's straight axle on the front, so it's 2-wheel drive, but he is putting this thing through the paces, kept the front end up, kept the throttle going. Let's see, he's at about a 28-second mark. He may be the man. He could really, really scorch him this time around. Let's see what happens. He's at a 37. Well, he improved.
Yeah, he improved, 36.24. But he got a little out of shape coming out of that corner. Now, he's got a 3/4 ton rear end under that one. And he's got the little small half ton. And there comes a little bitty short one. Now, it's a little red Ford Ranger. And that's number 29 as he brings it out here. And this young man, Mr. Rick Armbruster, is doing a great job, but he's throwing a little smoke off as he comes out.
I don't think that's a problem. I think that the man is on a mission. He ran a 32.40 earlier. He's at and he really is going to do this thing up right. If this thing will stay together, trust me, he may be the man for the lead. 32.40 early. He's at 16 seconds at this moment, and he is on the throttle for everything it'll go. It's set up to do this. It's its kind of course. It works well on it. The Ford Bronco, the 81 is headed for the finish line and
at 29.71 seconds. He had it all dialed together here this afternoon as he brings it out. That pretty shiny black truck, number 29 of Randall Harlan, coming up next. Here's the replay.
This is beautiful. Into the whoops. It's really tough sledding right here. The whoops are so tough. He gets it up on two sides, and that's going to cost you time. Anytime you don't have all four tires on the ground, reaching and grabbing, and he caught the corner of a car on the other side also.
And number 21, Randall Harlan. That's that step-side Ford pickup. Now, it's got a full, looks like desert racing frame in the back of it.
This truck is just almost brand new, and they're just finding out what it can do. Every time around, they press it a little harder. 29.31 the first time. He's at 17 seconds right now, about halfway home, so it's going to be tough for him to beat it this time.
Oh, look out. Brand new truck rolls her over right down there. The time to beat was 26.86, and that was a brand new truck of Randall Harlan, as he turns her over down there. That's the same corner earlier on in the show where we rolled another one over, and it's just tight coming out of there. Take this replay, Mike Galloway.
Beautiful job. The truck works so well. Look at it. It's glued to the ground, but we've talked about this a couple of times before. The whoops right there in that corner high sides him. He doesn't back out, keeps the wheels turned to the left, and that's the wrong thing to do. It goes upside down.
Trying to do one of those Joey Chitwood tricks, and he wasn't prepared to do it. And this beautiful, shiny black Ford truck took her over and went on her side. Here's another view of it. As he comes into those whoops, you can see it come up on one side, and there's just no coming down.
Cuts the wheels to the left, and when that happens, the truck is going over. Sad part about it, I don't think this truck is over 2 or 3 days old. The drive shaft,
look at the drive shaft and the wheels spinning.
The tires are spinning. He's got a loop on it. He's got the safety equipment. I don't think he's coming out.
And I'll tell you what, he's over there. All the truck officials, the track officials are there with him. The people have come in to see how everything's going.
Now, I probably shouldn't mention this, Walt, but earlier this afternoon, I was up here checking out the booth, Does it mean anything that I saw a black cat run across that corner about 3 times?
Should have shot the cat. I didn't mean that to anybody that loves cats. I'm sorry. But I tell you what, it's been a tough corner on that this afternoon. The driver comes out, and he's being checked over by the medical personnel. But I tell you, it's a pretty truck. You can see how well it's sprung up front with all of the special mounting and shock absorbers. But coming out of that corner, just too many whoopties.
It's not exactly the way. I wanted all of our viewers to see what these trucks were like on the underneath side. Not this way.
And the word is back that the driver is okay. They're going to try to get it turned over. We'll get back to more pro arena truck racing here from the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. And we'll be back right after this. And we're back at the Mid-South Coliseum. Let's go down to Fred Bartson down on the floor with Mr. Randall Harlan.
Well, Randall, you had a great run going, but you rolled it. What happened?
Yeah, it's running good. And I just hooked a little too hard coming off them last jumps over there. And just
yeah. That's a beautiful truck. How old is it?
It's a 77 model.
Yeah, fresh built, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right, will you be back in action later?
Sure, I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, back to y'all.
I tell you what, Mike, Randall just didn't know what to say. I think he's still a little shook up in that rollover.
I think he's still rollover shocked. Watch the injected big small block Chevrolet. This is a fuel-injected 350 Chevrolet. He scored the track 29-25 first round.
Out of Prior Lake, Minnesota.
He's on 10-second marks at this time. That hurts. Let's go. This guy could do it. Let's see. He's close to home at 18 seconds. Clock in the corner. He needs to beat a 26.86.
Oh, he hit hard then.
He can do it. He can do it. No, it's not going to be, but he may improve his time for the first round.
30.48 seconds. And right over here coming down that last back straightaway, well, that's when he just nosed it in.
He looks so good early.
Now watch it right here when he comes off this corner.
This is really when he gets in trouble. And see, his tires are cut, and he just goes all the way. The suspension gives way on him, and he goes to the ground. And that probably cost him all the time it took to win this thing.
Well, we got Shane Ballard out of Springfield, Missouri. Time in the first round, 30.28. Now, this guy, when he's not racing, he can go out and commune with the zebras. But I tell you what, he's got it flying out there right now, Mike.
This guy has done it so many times. As we mentioned, he's run the Vegas to Reno desert race. Not really hard on the throttle. I don't know what's wrong with the truck. And the truck just went away on him. That's very unusual for that truck. It is a fuel-injected 302. And he's got probably more problems than fuel leaving it because it's not carbureted. Take a look at the front of it, though. It's got a safety inspection sticker on it out of Missouri.
Yep, and it's got number 60 on the side and the zebra stripes. And this is the first time we've ever had one caught up between these two set of hoopties as they're going to bring out the front end loader. And I tell you what, this truck was a strong competitor, and he had a good chance of being right up there at the very top for King of the Hill in the Pro Arena Truck division, as this has been a course that has taken a lot of beating. Now, it's a small course, the Mid-South Coliseum, not a big place, Mike, and a lot of whoopties in here. Is that affecting the way they set these trucks up? And it seems to be causing a lot of damage.
Well, it truly is affecting it, but the best part, I think, about this kind of a track, this kind of a course, it doesn't favor any one particular vehicle.
No cubic dollar horsepower owner, right?
Correct. You can go out there. Mello, who's probably one of the fastest trucks out there tonight, the Ford truck from California, that truck's got 108,000 miles on it. He's in the top 2 or 3. The little Toyota truck that rolled over was just absolutely awesome, and it was a 4-cylinder. So here again, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference in the big cubic inches.
And the big tough and ugly off-road Daniel Sutter comes out, and that's got one of those big dinosaurs up on the front. The brake lights are working, and boy, he's pouring on the horsepower.
Daniel is not going to let up. He has just thrown caution to the wind on this pass as he did in the earlier pass. It's foot flat on the floor, and I mean, he is just hammering this truck. Tough and ugly is getting uglier, and it's getting tougher. Let's see, can he make it? That hurts. Look at this pass. He's at 27 seconds.
At 29.04 seconds. A great run by Daniel Sutter. He's a happy young man. Oh, he's just shaking his fist, and he's a happy young man as he gets old Tough and Ugly right off there at the end of the track. Number 12 coming up. That's Rob Mello. Now,
this is beautiful. Look at this. This is true abandonment. Just go for it.
Look at that hood flying in the air.
Just go for it. Give it some gas. Sling it in the curves over the whoops. He doesn't even worry about it. If it goes over, that's okay. But if he could have made that turn a little sharper, we may have seen a new leader.
And here comes number 12, Mello. Now, this is, again, what, 100 and how many thousand miles?
108,000 miles. His dad bought the truck brand new, offered to sell it to him earlier. He turned him down, came back and bought it. But look at Mello. Mello doesn't know any fear. He says he's talking to himself all the way around this racetrack. When he leaves, they give him the starting line. He starts talking. He doesn't shut up till he crosses the finish line. Mello must be carrying on a heck of a conversation. He's at 24 seconds right this moment. He's to be at 26. Beautiful run.
28.91.
Well, he went a 29.25 earlier this evening, and that young man is truly awesome.
Well, I tell you what, he threw all the band in the wind. He doesn't care whether it's got a 100,000-mile motor or a brand-new motor in it, whether the suspension's old or new. He's talking himself into a great run right here.
400 cubic inch, two-barrel Ford right there, C6 automatic transmission. He says everything works on this truck.
And Mike Rosenthal up next in a little truck he calls one of the little small old-style Ford Broncos. No doors on the side, calls it cheaper than a wife.
No comment.
No, not me either.
302 cubic inches, got all the roll cage on it. Of course, any truck without a roof has to have a full 4-point roll cage. And this little Bronco is getting around the course in fine style. He's at 15 seconds at this time. That's about to split. He needed to go a little faster on this back part. That's going to hurt him. He got it into the front end, into the ground. Now he needs a real tight, hard swing. He's got that. He's at 25, 26, 27.
And 28.41 seconds. But still, there's a time to beat, and he didn't quite make it. But I tell you what, he did a great job. Mr. Mike Rosenthal. But here comes number 88. Joe Brozovich, and the only time he's got to beat is his own time.
What does he do? Does he go all out and just try to blister the track, or will he just set back in course? You know what he's going to do? He's going to go all out. He's going to go for broke. He's going at it like he was 15, and he's in the lead. Watch this Bronco fly. I didn't know horses could fly, but this one can.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and Brozovich, almost caught that front end loader down there on the far end. That could have made a bad combination of a New Holland front end loader. And, he looks like he's got a tire busted off of it.
Right front tire. Well, I'm glad he went in with the lead, because he's going to come out with it.
I'll tell you what, he blew the tire, I don't know whether it actually blew it, knocked it off the rim down there. But he was going for it. Joe Brozovich showing you what kind of racers these pro arena truck racers are.
Now that's the right front tire that gives way. We've seen that happen on a couple of vehicles tonight. Comes into the whoops, gets the front end higher. Now see it land.
Oh, look at it. You can see it just blow out the sidewall.
It sucked it off the rim. He landed on the side, rolled the tire underneath, and we saw the hot air come out of it.
But Joe Brozovich was just pouring it on, showing you the quality of racing these pro arena truck racers give us. And we'll be back with more action right after these few kind words. And welcome back to Memphis, Tennessee, the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge. And down on the floor, the winner of our pro arena trucks, Mr. Joe Brozovich, and with him is our man, Mr. Fred Brotson.
Thanks, Joey. I had a great first round, blew out a tire in the second round, and still won. How do you feel?
It feels great. I wish I would have finished the second round just to do it and put on a good show for the crowd. I hope that I was kind of disappointed. The tire blew. I hit it a little too hard on the corner. That's what made it pop off. But I really got to thank my sponsors again, especially the crowd. They were great. They really give me a good applause when I come out. I'm really thankful of that.
That's great. Now, what about your winning run? How'd you feel about that?
Oh, it was one of my better runs I've ever had since I've been doing this.
How long have you been doing it?
I figured it out the other day, almost 4 years now.
Right. Is this your first win?
Oh, no. Ask anybody that does these shows with me. I've got a couple under my belt for a while. They're hard-earned, I'll tell you that.
Okay, you got a one hot Bronco there. Joe Brozovich, the winner of the Pro Arena truck.
Thank you very much.
Well, as we watch the replay of Joe Brozovich and his winning run in Pro Arena Trucks. We'll take that and go listen to a few friendly words. And welcome back to the Mid-South Coliseum, the USA Motorsports Monster Truck Challenge Pro Arena Truck Racing. There's a young man that's a little tired, but Mr. Joe Brozovich, he finished first. Mike Rosenthal second. Rob Mello finished third. Fourth was number 27, Daniel Sutter, and then number 11, Jeff Wendt. And sixth was Randall Harlan, and 26 was Rick Armbrust, and Shane Ballard, and Zabisco Ransdell, and Bobby Stewart. And now let's go down to our man on the floor. He's with the second place medal, Mr. Fred Bartson. Take it away, Fred.
Mike, you finished second. That was a great run. Another great Bronco. How was it?
Felt good. I drove it a little harder than I did the first time around. Had to go faster to win.
Good. Now, I heard you had a little mishap on the way.
Yeah, we had a little trouble getting here. Was going to try to be here on time. Had a little problem turning the trailer over going down the interstate.
Now, how'd you recover from that and get here on time?
Worked real hard to jack it back up, get some tires on it, get a wrecker to get me out of the median, and drive me I can get here.
Well, I guess that's racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's happened to us more than once.
Okay, Mike Rosenthal, second place finisher. Back to you.
I tell you what, Rosenthal drove it here. Now there's somebody who's got a real fan of a big old Ford truck there. And I tell you what, Mike Galloway, there's something coming up now that you're only going to see at a USA Motorsports Challenge Pro Arena Trucks race, and this is Doug DeMocas, the Wheelie King. Now you've seen this guy for a lot of years. He is just astounding.
The balance that this guy has is unbelievable. Designed his own bike, does something that I've never seen anyone else even think about, much less do. He's been in several movies. He was in Cannonball Run, where he did the wheelie on the Sportster. Megaforce, stunt double for Barry Bronswick on that. He was in Matthew Starr as he doubled as a guest as a wheelie performance, and on Indy Sunday. But watch this. Watch this. He's going to go over a high wire, probably
35 feet in the air.
Yeah, 35 feet in the air on a three-wheeler. That's not bad if there's three wires.
No, but he's got to keep that front one up in the air.
Just two. That's why they call him the Wheelie King. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records. He went 145 miles wheeling, averaging 50 miles an hour. Look at this. Is this just not send cold chills up your spine? Look at Doug DeMocas. He's at the top. That is unbelievable. Look at the balance this guy's got. Look at that.
Now he's got, you know, he goes up one side with power, but now he's got to deal with brakes.
Yeah, coming down the other side is just as tricky. Doug is truly a gentleman. Look at full safety gear, and he stresses safety more than anything else. He is no doubt the Wheelie King, almost to the bottom, just lax a little bit, eases it off. That is truly unbelievable. Doug DeMocas out of California. He is the Wheelie King.
He is the Wheelie King, and we're the Commercial Kings. We'll be right back. But it's the last round. It's the Snake Bite versus the Bigfoot. Snake Bite in the near lane and Bigfoot in the far lane. Semi-final side-by-side drag.
We'll have to check on that. Bigfoot, Snake Bite. Trust me, these guys are going to let it all go. Bigfoot will cinch King of the Hill. Snakebite can take this thing away. This is going to be one great race. Trust me, these guys are both lightning fast. Dan Runke is as quick off the starting line as I've ever seen in a monster truck. This guy is truly awesome. This young man sitting on the Snakebite truck, Dave Byers, he's coming of his own right now. Let's see the crowd behind him 100%. They pull in the stage. They backing Snakebite up just a little bit. Now they're putting some heat in the motors.
And like you said, these alcohol-burning motors, you put some heat in them, that makes them produce more horsepower.
A little bit of a psych job. They hold back. Now you come in the stage. Bigfoot on the line.
Front engine in the Snakebite, rear mid-engine in the Bigfoot.
Snakebite now pulls in the stage. This is going to be truly reaction time. When the green falls, you better go for it. You better be there before it hits the ground.
It was close, 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 but it was the Bigfoot by just an edge as Runke just came off the line and just hammered it. Just had that snap instantaneous.
Watch it. He just maybe a half a fender.
Yeah.
Just a half a fender in the lead, but you know what? That's good as 10 miles.
Yep. An inch is as good as a mile. Close counts in horseshoes and hand grenades and drag racing, I can tell you that.
That was the winner of that advances into the final, and that would put Bigfoot in the final against the winner of this race.
Smokecraft versus Misbehaving, and one of the Hall brothers against Miss Julie Christensen.
You could see a lady go into the finals right here.
That could be great.
Never count out the Hall boys. They are there every time. This truck, I think he told me, was built in 1990, but it's still a very tough truck. And, you know, we're not in the corners. We're not in the obstacle course. We're in the straight line drags. These Hall boys build some big horsepower motors, and the truck and chassis will hold the power.
Because Misbehaving, Julie Christensen over there, she's only got a straight, basically kind of a stock 460 that's been blown and put on alcohol. So she's not making the big horsepower that the Smokecraft Jerky truck is making.
509 in the Smokecraft truck, motor set back. It's going to be a great race. Ford and a Chevrolet paired up in the semifinals.
Oh, I'll tell you
Julie left on him.
Yeah, she left on him. She beat him out of the line. And I tell you what, I don't know how it finished up. It looked very, very close right then. Mike, could you call it?
I won't call it, but I know that Julie was just about a wheel out when they left. And watching, she's out on front. Let's see what the finish line looks like. We may have to do that one more time for me to tell who it was.
I can't tell. I'm not the official.
They're putting Julie in the finals. It was so very, very close.
Julie Christensen, the young lady out of Utah, Cloverdale, Utah, I believe.
Right out of Salt Lake City.
Right out of Salt Lake City. Her first year in monster truck racing, but she has lightning reflexes and absolutely no fear.
Into the final round. This will be very interesting. You know,
look at the smile on her face.
Oh, she's got to be happy. I'm telling you, everyone in this arena is happy for her. But this is going to shake up the point standing. Bigfoot, now they've got a chance to be king of the hill when this is all over with.
Yep.
But Julie, well, she's got a distant shot at it.
Well, you know, I told her, I said this moment, Julie shows no fear. Well, if there's ever a time to show fear, it's when this truck shows up.
Dan's real good at this. This is his game to play.
Oh, he's going to psych her out or try to psych her out. I'm not sure he can get the job done. I don't think that Julie Christensen will strike out. Will psych out. I think she's going to sit there. She's going to take all he has to offer and make good account of herself.
One thing about it, she left on the Hall. Dan is ready.
I remember another drag racer had those lightning reflexes too.
A pair of Fords. There's the light that says we're on go. Julie will inch it. The last little bit. Little petite lady driving a big back.
Oh, but it was the big horsepower of the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot Ford that did it right there.
Dan did a dynamite job. Left with it. Kept the throttle on it. The truck picked off. It was beautiful. Watch the front end come up. Front end come up, the tires, the truck is in the air. When he lands, it is all over but the shouting. The big blue truck from Hazelwood, Missouri, property of Bob and Marilyn Chandler. Strike another one for Bigfoot.
And here they go again, side by side. They left nearly identically, but it was that big, giant horsepower and that well-designed and well-built truck, the Bigfoot. And I tell you what, he left it and took her right down the line. Both the trucks sitting side by side. I tell you what, the racing here at Mid-South Coliseum, when we came in there this evening, I looked at these small confines. I went, oh, this is not going to be a great place to race. But it has turned out to be a tremendous place to race.
Boy, we have seen some absolutely fabulous competition. There's Dan. That young man is just, he's awesome. He's good. He's quick. He works well. There's Julie. They're both right there side by side. They got to be two happy monster truck racers.
And let's go down to our man on the floor, Fred Bartson. Fred's down there with the 2 top winners.
Yeah, I got him right here, the 2 finalists. Dan Runte, you're on top again. Bigfoot, outstanding.
Bigfoot did a good job for us here tonight. You know, we got a lot of people to thank. USA's doing a neat deal here, putting this racing thing together, and got a tough woman here, too.
What was the key to the run?
Actually, like I said a little earlier, you know, it's just go out there, cut a good hole shot, hope everything works on the truck, because it's going to have to in this short a distance, or somebody like her will sneak up on you.
Right. Julia, how'd you feel about the final?
Pardon me?
How'd you run in the final?
It ran great. I knew Dan was quick on the line. I was just waiting for the green light to go and just nail it.
That's a great run, a very exciting final, and back up to you, Walt.
Well, I tell you what, the king of the hill with his ticket to Indy is the Bigfoot. As they just did a tremendous job. And I tell you what, Mike Galloway, you have really helped me out this evening as you have given us all the technical information. You are the doctor of truckology because you know it all.
It has been so much fun. We've seen great pro arena trucks. We've seen absolutely the top of the line in pro arena trucks with the Ford truck winning that. We saw the monster trucks, best of the best in the monster truck world here tonight with Bigfoot taking the win there. All in all, I would say it has been absolutely a perfect evening.
Well, I tell you what, it's been tremendous. Joe Brozovic to Runde to Bigfoot. It's been a great evening, and we've had a great time here at the Mid-South Coliseum. I'm Walt Yarbrough for Mike Galloway and Fred Bartson. And Fred and Katie, let's go back to you at the studio.
All right. Fred had to step out real quick for a minute, but Katie's still hanging out here, of course. We got some stuff coming up for you still on Motor Madness. We're going to have Eli Gold step back in here, and he has got a chat with that new kid on the block with Hendrick Motorsports, Ricky Craven. We'll see where his mind is. We're also going to go to Homestead, see what kind of action we got there, and give you the TNN Weekend Racing Update. Coming up, Motor Madness continues next.
Driving, here goes Hornaday for the win. Hornaday makes the move around Resendiz and goes way up the banking off the wall. Resendiz has the lead again. Sprague will take second. Hornaday tried to make something happen. Here comes Barfield for third. Can he get there? And at the stripe, they touch. Resendiz and Sprague sideways across the line. Dave Resendiz wins. Sprague comes home in second spot. What a finish. What a finish.